Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Investor More, and I'm outside a house flip that we are finally selling. And we've had quite a few issues going on with this house. But the thing I want to talk about today is the difference between what the appraiser said, the lender said, and what two engineers said, and how different people can say different things regarding the foundation, other issues, and why it's always important to get a second bid and look into things and not just believe one person. So this house is selling, I think, tomorrow, and we had to do some conditions for the buyers. We're selling the house to some buyers who are using a owner-occupied loan, and we'll talk about that a little bit too, because I've posted this house before and there's a lot of confusion about the appraiser's role, loans, how that all works as well. So love the likes, love the comments, love the shares, and we'll show you kind of the issues that some people said there were, some said there weren't, and what we ended up having to fix to get this loan closed. All right, so first off, we, like I said, had this for sale. Buyers came along with an owner-occupied loan, and they, for that loan, you have to get an appraisal done, which confirms the value. And when you get an appraisal done, and a licensed appraiser comes out, looks at the property, and gives a value on the home to make sure it's worth what the buyers are paying. But the appraiser also can note out any safety, structural concerns, things like that as well, and give those to the lender and say these have to be fixed before the loan can go through. So a lot of people thought it was strange the appraiser would call out repairs. They thought that was the inspector's job, but appraisers will call out safety issues, different loan conditions all the time on properties. It happens, it's very, very common. And so yes, you can get through your inspection, have all of that, go just fine. Then the appraiser can come through and say, nope, you have to fix this, and that does happen. So the first appraisal, nothing was mentioned about some of the cracks in the brick, but that was something that ended up having to be fixed. And we'll talk about why. But then other stuff that we thought we were gonna have to fix, which would be major, we didn't have to fix. So that was nice as well. We'll go down in the basement and talk about all of that. And one thing too, I don't know if I mentioned it here or not on YouTube, but I mentioned it on Facebook and Instagram, TikTok. The door handle was something the appraiser called out as well. It had a double key deadbolt before, and he called that out as a safety issue. And a lot of people got really upset about that because you said you have this big glass door, you have to have a double keyed deadbolt to prevent burglaries. And so lots of arguments about this on Facebook. Sometimes I get involved, sometimes I don't. But we had so many people chime in, and I think there were like 4 people who said they'd lost loved ones in fires because there was a double key deadbolt and they couldn't get out in time. And then some people say, well, you're gonna stop a burglary, so what's worse? And kind of the consensus from a lot of people and experts in security and fire was that, one, if you have this deadbolt here and it's double keyed, yes, you can smash the glass real easily, put your hand in, unlock it. But you know what else? You could kick that door open in about 10 seconds if you really wanted to. If a burglar wants to get into your house, they're probably gonna get in, whether that is double keyed or not. 1, you can break that door. 2, you could break this window right here. You could break some of the other large windows. There's all kinds of things you could do to get into this house if you really wanted to get into it. Even if this door didn't have glass and was a solid door, unless it's really secure, it can be kicked in very easily. So, I mean, my personal thing is, I have a dog. My dog will chase away burglars and deter them much better than that door will. So the other issue is obviously fires and different things. And we had firefighters, all kinds of people chime in saying, yes, that is a fire safety issue. In fact, many cities and towns make them illegal to have a double keyed deadbolt. It's not a national law. Some places it's not illegal, some places it is. But our appraiser did call it out as a safety issue, so really easy fix, not a big deal. And we've seen it before, but lots of drama and concern over that. And so that's kind of where we stand there. So the appraiser called that out. He called out cracks in the basement, and we'll show you here. And we actually talked to the appraiser because he saw the posts on Facebook, because literally one of my Facebook videos, my reel, had like 2 million views or something crazy. And he's like kind of concerned, worried that we were talking bad about him. We weren't even talking anything bad about him. I was just explaining the situation that happened. And he actually told us that he didn't call out anything on this foundation. He said he didn't see anything wrong that was like super concerning, but the lender saw the pictures and asked him to make them conditions. And I didn't even know lenders could do that, but I guess they can. But you can see there's an old crack there at some point, and then there's some cracking over here. This is not a big crack right here. This is just where you can see they had different foundation or pores right there. And so as part of the condition of the appraisal, when the lender called out that issue, they asked for an engineer to come in, and the engineer had to inspect the property. So the buyers actually got their own engineer to come in and inspect the foundation, and they said these cracks are fine, nothing wrong with them, completely normal. It's a 100-year-old house, you're going to have some cracks, not a big deal. But that engineer came through and said this big dirt wall right here is an issue. It's holding up these bricks. We have to put a concrete retaining wall around it. And so we're like, great, how long is that going to take? What's going to be involved in doing that? And so the engineer just gave that opinion of that. They did not write up a report. So we're like, okay, can we please get a report? Give us an official report so we know exactly what to do, what needs to be done. And it took them days just to send us an invoice for how much it would cost. Like, it was real annoying. And they were going to charge us $2,100 just to do that report, which is way more than we've ever had to pay before. And they took and we were going to do it because we thought we could get it done real fast, get the repair done, get it closed in time. This is back before the end of the year because the buyer's rate lock was expiring. But it took them so long just to get us the invoice and get that going. We weren't going to get it closed in time. We had to do an extension. So we just said at that point, okay, never mind. We'll use an engineer we've used in the past. We'll see how fast he can do it. And he was going to be able to do it like January 6th. And so we had him come out, and in extending that, the buyers had to get a new rate lock, which cost them $2,000. So we agreed to add $2,000 in concessions to their contract. So that cost us another couple $1,000s there with that delay. But the new engineer came out, did his inspection, gave us his report. And guess what? Totally different than the appraiser or the first engineer. He said, this wall is fine. Nothing wrong with it. It's structurally sound. Don't need to do anything there. He said, these cracks are fine. Nothing wrong with the cracks. No problems there. No issues there at all. However, he said there was one block out of this old stone foundation that was missing, and we had to replace that block. So our guys came through and replaced that block, and you can see touched up the mortar on there. And then he also said the brick cracks on the outside of that wall back there needed filled in with mortar as well, or sealant, or whatever it is they use. And so those two things we did, took pictures of them, sent them to the lender, the appraiser, sent them a picture of the door lock. We're good to go. So it just shows how different it can be with different professionals. These are both obviously engineers who had to go to school and do this stuff, get certified, all of that, and both have completely different opinions. The appraiser had a different opinion. The lender had a different opinion. So there's a lot of different things that can go along with house flips and what to expect. But and we've seen that before with foundations, where I had another house where we had some foundation issues, and one foundation company and engineer had said it needed a whole new foundation, all these piers dug. This is not the crazy foundation house, a different one. And then they were going to charge us $84,000. And this was a company that was highly recommended by lots of other investors. I got a different opinion from another company. They had an engineer go through. That engineer said, yeah, there's some, a few different issues here, but the house has been here 50 years. There's no settling. There's no cracks. There's nothing wrong with it. you do need one support beam in the center of the house that is, it wasn't supported right. And we got that done for $5,000. So, including the engineer cost. So, huge differences in opinion on these things. It's always good to get two opinions. And then if you do find someone who's good, we'll look at these things logically. Hang on to their number. Do not lose their contact information. And because, like I said, the house has been here 100 years. The floors are almost completely level. Like there's no issues upstairs. There's no cracks in the walls, things like that. Some of the bricks had a little bit of cracking up there, but 100-year-old bricks tend to do that and mortar falls out. So in the end, house is stable, house is good. We were able to get the deal done and closed and without crazy expensive repairs or weird stuff that probably didn't need to be done according to multiple people. So there we go. All right. So this house will be closed. Moving on to the next ones, get those done. But you do run into different issues and different things with real estate. And it's nice to be able to have different options and know how to fix those issues without going crazy. A massive repair like that could really hurt a first-time novice flipper or homeowner. If you're a regular homeowner and all of a sudden they say you need $84,000 in repairs, what are you going to do, right? You can't. That's not something insurance is going to cover. So make sure you get multiple bids, check multiple sources before you dive into something like that. That's my advice on that, at least. All right, thanks for watching. Be back with more videos, more insights here, and other properties as well. Take care. Love the likes, love the comments, love the shares. Keep those coming. And on to the next house.